As you guys remember, IDUBBBZ has officially put his hat into the ring with the whole Ethan Klein, Hassan Piker fallout. He's, of course, with Hassan Piker in this whole, back and forth when Ethan Klein had CPS called to his house, by the way. And now he had skeletons sent to his house. That, in my opinion, is sort of a death threat. Like, you're sending skulls to a man's house with kids and shit. That could be taken as a death threat. And honestly, these people are out here saying that Ethan Klein is, quote, are just dismissing this whole CPS thing as Ethan Klein crashing out. Ethan needs help, guys. I mean, Ethan has every right to be mad about this, dude. Like, CPS, literally a false CPS report was been reported to his house because a bunch of trolls on Twitter are very social people decided to, fuck with Ethan. And it's not right. Anyways, we have this video by IDUBBBZ. Apparently new shit came out that makes IDUBBBZ's wife, Anissa, not look so good. In fact, I remember a year ago Anissa blocked me on Twitter because I said something around I don't know. Apparently, I don't know. I kind of shat on Anissa for the OF shit back then. Anyways, IDUBBBZ's career is over. Hassan and Noah Samson.
What is happening?
Fuck Noah Samson, by the way.
Right now, I'm seeing IDUBBBZ and Noah Samson act like Ethan receiving human skulls in the mail is just a funny meme.
Yeah, they're literally... Yeah, these two are literally the worst. IDUBBBZ. By the way, guys, IDUBBBZ felt so threatened by Sam Hyde just simply saying some stupid shit. Meanwhile, he brushed off Ethan Klein receiving skeleton skulls as, oh, it's just a gif. It's just a goof, bro. Why are you mad, bro? It's just a goof.
Opinion on the skulls, and did you send them?
I didn't send the skulls. I don't know. I thought the skulls thing was kind of humorous to hear that. Especially when I heard that they were from skulls.com or something like that.
Bro.
That made it funny.
Just a death threat to a father, a family.
Yeah. Was it a death threat?
You could be. This is literally considered a death threat, bro. What sane person would send a fucking skull to someone's house?
Yeah, no.
Yes, the threat is motivated on your community slandering Ethan as a racist who loves genocide. The threat so obviously is you don't know who we are, but we know where you and your family live. I thought Ian would be empathetic towards this, since he thought Sam Hyde was gonna kill him for no reason.
It was the craziest thing because Anissa said to me, she's like, Kate, you don't understand.
Oh my god, this interview is so insane. By the way, this guy looks like Rudy Gobert from the Minnesota Timberwolves. Like, just a wider version of Rudy Gobert. Jesus Christ. Anyways, yeah, this interview is insane. Apparently, actually, I'll just let them speak for themselves.
Ian and I both believe that Sam Hyde would really come and find me and would actually murder me. So that's the reason why we have to take all these precautions. And I was just like, are you sure?
I'm coming to kill you! I was like, I think the guy's a millionaire. I was like, I don't think he's gonna risk his freedom to kill you.
Meanwhile, 2 low-level staffers at the Israeli embassy were killed in the name of stopping a genocide. The same. Meanwhile,
what?
Staffers at the Israeli embassy were killed in the name of
Bring the war home. What?
stopping a genocide. The same thing these guys accuse Ethan and his family of defending. But Ethan's crazy for being worried.
No, this is a hallucination. I will say it once again. If I don't think it's appropriate for someone to call CPS on Ethan Klein, why the f would I ever think it's appropriate for someone to kill Ethan Klein? Are you stupid? Of course, that is insane.
No, but you'd still praise them and hop on streams with them. Bad Empanada is encouraging people to...
Oh my god, this fucking loser. Bad Empanada. Bro, I made a video talking about the whole Bad Empanada thing, about how this guy is a literal serial doxer. Everybody was on my ass saying that Bad Empanada is actually a good person and that this person is actually a genius and based for literally insinuating a false CPS report to Ethan Klein's house, bro. And people literally are out here saying that Bad Empanada is actually a good person. No, this guy's a literal serial doxer, and this guy's like a psychopath on the internet and needs to be like taken away. Online, of course. Not real life. He'll probably say that about me, though.
Continue to make false CPS calls to Ethan and Gila. He's acting like it's a big joke.
Hello. Is this Child Protective Services? Yes, thank you. I would like to report a case of endemic dog infestation, and it also contains two Zionists. And as we all know, Zionists are baby killers, so I think this is a very dangerous situation for the children, given the dog and the Zionists keep those kids safe.
This might
Wow, bro, you're so funny. Holy shit.
be funny if it wasn't actually happening. This guy is also a serial doxer. He's doxing people on
No way. I mean, I already explained it. This guy is a doxer.
right now as we speak. It's so wild to me that we have this group of people that have devolved into this mentality where lying is completely okay. Hassan's biggest fan account is spreading the lie that Asman killed his mom. Just makes it up. Even
What?
Frogan, the least relevant Hassan groupie, is completely lying about her past statements, saying veterans deserved PTSD.
I'm a live streamer as well. I know being live for hours and hours on end, you can misspeak, and that is exactly what happened whenever I said the thing about the U.S. military.
I mean, you literally quite said, I hope they get PTSD. How do you misspeak that?
Bro, you didn't misspeak. You were serious.
I will never have any pity for any soldiers.
How do you misspeak that?
Who and who? I hope you get PTSD. I hope.
The two-time rising Twitch star, by the way. And while she says all that, she's literally e-bagging on fucking Twitch.
We get PTSD. And I hope you get no health insurance when you get back into fucking America.
She lives
Holy
in
shit, she adds more to it.
Michigan, by the way. And then you double down the next day laughing at what you said.
And they posted it in my head. I'm like, base? Base?
These people are such
Yeah, misspeaking my ass.
cry bullies. If you aren't 100% with them, you're against them. A Twitter account posts that Hassan
Fearbuck. Hassan has been banned on Twitch. Oh my god, I think I've seen this
was
interaction.
banned for a day. Well, Hassan frames them as an agent of Israel. Hassan replies, every blue check power farmer is an Israeli dick rider on this website. This
Bro, you literally have a blue check mark yourself. Aren't you an Israeli dick? Hassan is an Israeli dick rider? Holy shit. We've been fooled this entire time. Like, you see how stupid you sound, Hassan?
guy didn't say anything. All he did was report.
He just reported that you're banned on Twitch. And you just called him an Israel dick rider. I don't even think he gives a fuck. I see this Fearbug guy on Twitter all the time. This guy just posts IRL streamers. He barely posts basketball.
Report your ban. And you have a blue check mark. Frogan sees
Oh
Asman
my god.
speak mildly about political content on Twitch. In Frogan's eyes, he's discriminating against her.
If I wanted to optimize ad revenue, you know what I would do? I'd ban politics. The odds are that me and Hassan and Tectone and Frogan and Denims and Central Committee
At least he added himself.
cause 90% of the PR problems on the entire website.
Honestly, facts. Frogan tweets, you consider me political
You consider me political because I... Holy shit, dude.
because I wear a hijab. I am not like you and don't make political content anywhere, but typing a tweet once in a while. What reality is she living in?
You don't type a tweet well. You tweet every fucking day.
No one mentioned your hijab. And now we have the newest rising star in Hassan's orbit, IDUBBBZ, who's consistently used Creator Clash as a way to shield criticism because it's a charity event.
It's disappointing and it makes me sick to see him, like, you know, using the event as a way to, like, attack me back or whatever.
The new management of Creator Clash 3 revealed that Ian and Anissa were taking 34% of the profit from this event. Was Ian really concerned about his charity possibly failing, or did he only care about his bottom line?
Don't worry, Hila. I'm not going to blame you guys for anything Creator Clash related. I know you're terrified of taking accountability for anything, so...
Ironic, considering that you literally destroyed Creator Clash and took no accountability for it. And your current... Yeah, you literally left Creator Clash, destroyed Creator Clash, left Creator Clash, and never took accountability for it. Got nice one.
that will rest solely on my shoulders. But I can't speak for the internet. The internet might actually blame you guys for it.
He thought he was cooking with this. Since then, Freddie Wong
Who let bro cook?
seemingly dropped out of the event. After seeing Ian drag Creator Clash through this drama, both the fighters from the main event dropped out of Creator Clash 3, blaming Ian for it. The event went from an arena that hosted 20,000 people to one that has a capacity of 4,000. Reputable harm has been done to this charity event. Everyone rightfully blames Ian and Anissa, but the funniest part is it's barely a charity event at all. Ian responded on Reddit, "We restructured so the funds for our charity partner would be raised on Tiltify, separate and apart from the actual event. The Tiltify is essentially when you go to Walmart checkout and ask you to round up $1 for charity. That's the extent of the charity aspect. People joke that this event would be a disaster like TanaCon.
Saying the event is going to be worse than TanaCon?
But TanaCon's problem was that too many people showed up.
An IDUBBBZ event, no people showed up.
This one, there might be too many folding chairs. Yes, this is the actual venue. To hear
Wait, what?
too many people showed up. For this one, there might be too many.
No way, this is the actual venue. This boxing ring's so small. This looks more like a quinceañera. A quinceañera. Respect cage.
Folding chairs. Yes, this is the actual venue.
The venue. This is just a venue. I don't. Never mind.
To hear him cry about, oh, this charity event's getting ruined when no pay-per-view sales, ticket sales, or profits from concessions is going to.
Yeah, this charity already failed. This quote charity already failed, dude. There was no saving this charity.
Charity is a whole nother level of dishonesty.
What was the charity for? Like cancer research, or I don't even remember.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like
stand up to
cancer is bad, comes below, I don't like this guy. And I'm going to talk about not liking this guy before I talk about cancer is bad. Because I don't really care about either, but I'm more likely to make videos out of that guy. And whoever gets in the way of that, even if it's kids with cancer, fuck them.
Noah, do you not know cancer is bad? Are you unaware? Oh, sorry, guys. Can't criticize Ian. There's this crazy disease nobody's heard of called cancer. This has been a disastrous event. It's worthy of criticism.
The way I see it is I think the common defense from the other side would be something along the lines of like, don't use charity as a shield.
You've been using that, though.
But I think they completely missed the point that it's like, it's not a shield. It's just like, hurt me as much as you want. You know, it's basically saying like, you do not have a case. You are not winning. You are not hurting me. So you're trying to find other ways to hurt me. You are like, you're kind of by attacking this other thing, by triangulating this other thing, you are proving that nothing's working, you know?
Yeah.
And
oh man.
Yeah, oh man, that was completely retarded. Your own fighters.
Okay. Chill.
They're dropping out of the event. You think it's all malicious? They just want to hurt you? All of this genuine criticism is just a lie to you. Here's Wade, one of the commentators, talking about how misled he was.
You're telling people it's a charity event. Stop telling people that, because it's not what it is. That was the whole issue with the lack of communication behind number 1 and 2. That it's a charity event, charity event, charity event. It's not a charity event. It's a boxing event that you are perpendicularly associating with a separate charity that has nothing to do with people buying the boxing event. I was a part of the event and didn't know any of this. I didn't know where money is going, outside of the fact that I was offered and said no.
Jay LeRae, one of the fighters, didn't understand that this
Nobody understood this shit.
wasn't a charity event.
Those of you that don't know, I'm going to be boxing in Creator Clash 3 in Tampa, Florida this June 28th. I'm very excited. You can grab your tickets now. In-person tickets are on sale, and pay-per-view
Didn't she drop 2?
tickets are on sale as well. You can go grab pay-per-view tickets now. All proceeds from this event are going to Stand Up to Cancer.
That is just not true. The proceeds are profit for the organizers. Only the Tiltify money goes to charity. What was Ian's response in his newest video? Well, it's just a miscommunication.
Concern trolling. This video is also ironic considering that Ian and Anissa and basically IDUBBBZ and his whole orbiters has been concern trolling Ethan Klein throughout this whole ordeal.
I have felt extremely handcuffed by Creator Clash these past years because I'm not an expert communicator and I don't know how to convey things, not over communicate, not do all these things that potentially put the event at risk and put other people at risk. And that's kind of why I wanted to step away from this event. It feels like it's inhibiting my ability, like the business side of things, like inhibits my ability to communicate openly and effectively, especially when there's so many people counting on me to, you know, do that well.
You don't have to be an expert communicator to let people know that this is a for-profit event. The new people that took over made it clear in just a few lines on the transparency page of the Creator Clash.
The financial success of the event does not impact the amount raised for charity.
Website. When things evolve, each new iteration is supposed to get better, like phones or tools, not Creator Clash. The fourth one's going to be held in Ian's backyard. But the best example of evolution might be Exter Wallet. Exter is
okay. Willie, you're not paying me shit to promote your shit, but go buy it. Creator Clash.
Thank you, Exker, for sponsoring this video.
I might look at getting myself a wallet though.
Was revealed with the change of ownership that Anissa and I, because we're 1/3 ownership of Creator Clash, the business, that we were getting 34% of the profit share. We weren't anticipating this event doing well. Like, we wanted to do well enough to pay back the investors, of course. So that's one of the reasons that we were, you know, okay with the profit share thing.
So you guys were expecting it to fail? That's why I think it's so cowardly you guys bailed out of this event. Doesn't it seem like he made this content cop to get bad press so he could drop out? It's interesting how it took till now for
No, he probably
moves to be made to make sure this event isn't a complete financial failure.
But another part of it as well is that the contract wasn't structured in a way that the profit share could just directly go to charity. It was told to us, like, you could just donate your portion of the profit share to charity after the event. So we were like, okay, fine. Now, I know some people will find it hard to believe that Anissa and I were just going to give our portion of the profit share to charity. There's nothing I could really say to, I think, convince them otherwise. It was up to our discretion at the end of the day.
The reasoning is so weird. We took profit knowing that the event would fail, but if it somehow succeeded, we would donate that money anyway. You just have to trust us on that. Why not just have that in the contract? Instead of it going to you and Anissa, it goes to charity. Can it not be written in? Am I missing something? Brother, you and your wife aren't exactly known as honest people.
I'm very happy that, you know, this year money is being raised for charity, and I'm glad.
No thanks to you, buddy.
To know that it's already more successful than year 2. Mission accomplished as far as I'm concerned.
That money wasn't raised by you. It was raised by Hassan reacting to Ethan's content.
Jesus Christ, dude. Which Hassan, by the way, used... Or Hassan basically did just... Can't really shit on Hassan for, I guess, doing a donation... charity raise to finally react to Ethan Klein's content nuke.
If you don't host your event at all, that money still goes to charity. You've done nothing.
Go figure. The white guy 8 years later is like, I think Anita Sarkeesian was kind of onto something. There's a lot of assholes on the internet, and they're kind of misogynistic too, I think. It's crazy.
That was you once, though.
What a little CTE or the love of a woman will do to you.
Whenever you're...
IDUBBBZ, you literally... you don't even have CTE. You are beyond CTE. Like, there's no going back. There's no fixing you, IDUBBBZ. Look at you. Like, you look like you just came out of a cave.
Around Anissa, you look like an abused dog.
I just want to ask you if you've always been shitting your pants.
No.
Because since I've known you, you've always had, like, IBS. You've always been shitting yourself.
Is that his wife talking to him?
You know. I'm not going to
he's at a cafe. Burton, has he always had IBS? Ian's just looking like a shriveled... You look like the grandma from SpongeBob. The chocolate grandma. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know what's happened to Ian. He has zero confidence. He doesn't even know how to speak for himself anymore. His boxing coach is telling stories on how Anissa tells Ian when he's hungry.
One time we ended sparring, and afterwards everybody's hanging out, and she walks up to Ian and she goes, "You're hungry."
Rudy Gobert.
Yes.
And then so they had to leave because Ian was hungry.
Do you feel like I speak too much for you. Like in this,
I don't think so. You know me better than like I think it's a weird.
Seconds right hand, Alex Wasabi. What?
Alex Wasabi literally gave IDUBBBZ CTE, bro. That's why he's not boxing in Creator Clash 3, bro. After one more hit to the face, and then he would have been fucking. I don't know. He would have started barking.
It's weird. The reason Anissa does it is because typically, whatever the topic is, she's filling in the blank. Because I don't say it for myself. I think a lot of the times, you know, my head's in a different space.
You're not kind to yourself. You've never been kind to yourself, and you'll never share. Like if you're in a room with a bunch of people and people are.
Is this what I'm gonna be like if I ever get into a relationship? God, please don't let this happen. Don't let me be. Let me have myself.
Talking about like what they accomplish or what they've done, you'll never ever speak up about that.
Does she change your diapers too? I don't
Oh my god.
know how much weight to put into what this guy's saying. Maybe he's just angry and trying to get back at them for some reason. But
Probably.
now there's another story about Ian getting cucked, no meme.
I've heard is that she was hitting on one of his sparring partners and was obsessed with him and gave him a VIP pass to the event.
A lot of his sparring partners got the passes, but she definitely had a big crush on one of the guys that would come in and spar with them. Because anytime they would spar, she would just be super into it and watch every moment. And then, even if he would like beat Ian up, she'd be very into it. And then,
I want to say that, I want to say that before. So Anissa
Yeah, please say something.
never gave shout-outs to Michael training Ian at all, but she put out the first video of Ian like getting rocked in sparring when Ian was sparring with her crush.
Anissa allegedly flew out.
If that clip does not solidify the IDUBBBZ cuck allegations, I don't know what else will. Like, there's no convincing you. Because this has to be the biggest cucking of cucks of all. This is worse than Sneeko. Actually, no, it's not. What am I saying?
300 creators to the event with no requirement to promote it.
he's like, our brand is at stake. We're $500,000 in the hole right now. And we're like,
I wish I knew that. I wish I knew that at that time. I think
What the fuck are you
a
doing?
lot of the fighters would have liked to have known that. I don't think none of them needed to be in the dark about that, you know?
Their pay-per-view sales were behind and they were still spending money.
But they were honest about the fact that they were spending the money from the ticket sales on the hotel, on flying people in, on all these other things. So it was just like,
So those decisions, the gala decisions, were made while in the red.
yes,
I have a question about that.
First of all, they rented the hotel for over 300 creators and flew a lot of them in. When the first year it was much more scaled back.
Ian can't edit a video anymore, so he flies out Twitter editors.
And then the second year, they
Nice
did
one.
a full hotel for 300 creators. They flew a lot of people in. One of the people they flew in was Fraudy Tonic, and they flew him in from France.
That's insane.
And Froggy had told us that he was there to salvage the documentary.
Ian and Anissa haven't responded to these latest allegations, but they did defend their tattoos.
Defend their tattoos. Yeah, that's the most important thing you should defend. What about you literally crushing on the fucking trainer?
Priorities.
Cool. It doesn't really matter what I do, because I'll always stay stuck as a fool. I'll never be cool.
It really is remarkable how everything Ian says is projection. Donut Operator revealed in his podcast that Ian stopped talking to him because he made an OnlyFans joke.
He went to a range day with me one time. Like, we used to talk a lot about content creation and stuff. And COVID rolls around, I get bored at home, so I make an OnlyFans where I'm showing my meat.
The fuck?
Really? And so, well, basically, I'm taking a steak and I'm rating a steak. And like,
I just got it. I just pictured that in my head. Oh my god.
See, that's the reaction that you're supposed to have.
genius. I thought it was funny. So I'd be wearing like just an apron. Of course, I'm wearing like boxers underneath. And I'd reach down and be like, this is my OnlyFans. And this is an A5 Wagyu from down the street. And I would talk about it. And I sent it to Ian, and he got mad and called me and like said I was making fun of Anissa, and like I wasn't.
Dude, how the fuck is that making fun of Anissa? It would probably be if he just put on fake tits or fake ass and then just shook some.
I just thought it was a funny bit because I was sitting at home during COVID, and
You'll never understand what it's like to be an ally.
yeah, it was he
Shit
like
like
said
that.
stuff like that. Haven't talked to him since. That was like 5 years ago.
Over that?
Yeah, and I've like texted him and tried to reconnect with him. He just won't talk to me anymore.
Ian's response is to say, conveniently leaving out that your girlfriend at the time was pursuing OnlyFans, but you were too pussy to deal with the criticism, so you made a parody account. No, I don't want to be friends with a coward. How is any of that
What?
a relevant response? Should Donut Operator have uploaded a video like you did, talking about how intelligent he is for letting his wife do OnlyFans?
But I'm cool with it. You do realize there are guys out there in private right now jacking off to your girlfriend. But I guess it's out of sight, out of mind, it's not a problem.
Yeah, Ian wants to see it.
Let me have my hope, all right? I want to believe he's too intelligent for this. Intelligence has nothing to do with it, but I will say this. If you want to retain hope that I'm intelligent, this is the most intelligent thing I've probably ever done, is revealing this side of me.
The bar's real low, huh? Bro's only real-world experience was working at Legoland. This man just said it was the most intelligent thing he's ever done. Donut Operator, you're missing out. You could be Ian. The content cop has been nothing but a
I don't think anybody wants to be Ian right now.
It's done harm to everyone associated with Ian, so the new narrative is to hide behind the dead bodies of Palestinians. Act as if the content cop was about Israel-Palestine the whole time.
No, it was not. No, don't get it twisted, y'all. That content cop, that shitty content cop that IDUBBBZ made, has nothing to do with Israel-Palestine. They're only using it just to, you know, as a shield to say, hey, guys, Ethan Klein supports Israel, or Ethan Klein's a giant, what's that for? A Zionist. So you should go after him. I'm the good guy. I'm like you guys. I'm the great guy. Yeah, he's literally brainwashing y'all. I'm not too educated on the Israel-Palestine stuff. All I know is that Palestine's getting destroyed, and that's not good. I am empathetic towards that, but I'm not empathetic towards IDUBBBZ or Hassan and his orbiters, because that, I don't know, they're just pathetic, and they're using this shit to, they're literally using Israel-Palestine to, you know, get a one-up on YouTube drama. Think about it. They're using dead kids. They're using a situation where dead children are involved in order to fucking have a one-up in YouTube drama.
I even hate calling
I'll leave it at that.
drama, because at the end of the day, it was you kind of taking a stand of being pro-Palestine. I don't think that's drama necessarily, but the way that they have handled
you taking a stand on pro-Palestine. IDUBBBZ can't even spell Palestine.
Talking about this, people like Ethan and some people on Twitter that cover this make it about themselves so often, when that's not what any of this is about, you know. Like,
I'm sorry that I'm such a fucking nasty person who just wants to roll around in the shit.
There's people in Palestine dying every fucking day. I think over the weekend.
Wait, what?
Just on Saturday alone, like over 100 any of this is about, you know. Like,
I'm sorry that I'm such a fucking nasty person who just wants to roll around in the shit.
There's people in Palestine dying every fucking day. I think over the weekend, just on Saturday alone, like over 100 people were bombed and killed.
I can show your tattoos in all of their glory, or I can show that your tattoo made it to the top of awful taste but great execution subreddit.
What was the impulse to finally take a stand?
Yeah, well, I think Ethan made it really fucking easy for me. I think honestly the only thing that made me second guess any of it was how it affects other people.
Ethan was mad because people were calling CPS on his children, and the content cop was acting like Ethan was lashing out for no reason. But now that Ian's criticized, suddenly he's a big advocate for Palestine. The only time he talked about it is when he said Anissa's half Irish and half Lebanese, so that makes her an expert.
I'll say it for anyone who doesn't know. Anissa is half
But Anissa is also a unhinged person, so not sure if that subsidize anything.
Lebanese and half Irish. For anyone unfamiliar, the Irish have been on the receiving end of a lot of oppression and genocide. On the part of the Lebanese, they've received a lot of oppression and attacks from the IDF. So Anissa is very well familiar with the propaganda and the shit coming out of Israel.
When called out for this by the entire internet, Ian acts like he's above it all.
Yeah, I'm like definitely a loser to like a huge swath of people online.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't really care to be a winner in their eyes.
I don't care.
Oh, I gotta kind of reconcile with my past moments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I relate in that way, but then I also relate in the way that it's hard. It's hard to be funny. And I can tell that bro really like admires like a lot of these comedians that he's had on his show. I think he wants to, you know, be something special. I think he wants to be an entertainer. But like it's gonna take a lot of fucking like pain and hurt to actually discover who the fuck you are, because I don't think he knows who he is, to be honest. Like
it wasn't overnight, like me gaining my confidence back. And I'm still probably not all the way there, but
This guy projects more than a movie theater. Yeah, Ethan should have followed your podcast format, where you hide all your new episodes on Patreon. They've figured out a way to argue that them making boring content somehow makes them a better person. I've subscribed to their Patreon, and their podcast was so mundane I couldn't bother to slog through it. This was the highlight.
I would say there's some options that you don't think about as existing, especially when you're younger. I didn't think about how I could put an egg in my ramen.
Yeah.
I never considered that.
Yeah.
And it always felt like it was a little bit like lacking something. Like I wanted to put something like cheese in there.
Mhm.
But Fluffy put me on to putting an egg in there. I mean, he chefed it up quite a bit. He like would go through the effort of like cutting up some green onions and stuff.
Yeah.
And putting
Oh,
it in
wow. He was.
Wow, what quality content! What a quality highlight.
Yeah, I think he wanted to do more. And I think that's, to be honest, what a lot of like, I think that's such a positive avenue for people who are struggling with their weight.
How are they morally grandstanding on getting less views? They act like Ian's video saved the sex industry.
When the OnlyFans shit happened and everybody was shitting their pants about me having an OnlyFans, there were some content creators that suggested to Ian, like, the move is to make your own OnlyFans and go in there and fucking just start posting on OnlyFans and make it a big joke. And, like, that's what people want to see. That's what's going to be entertaining. And, like, yeah, we understand what the, like, politically correct, not politically correct,
Strategically.
the strategically correct move is. But for, in that instance, for the sex working community, that would harm them so, like, so much
How would that harm them?
more than, like, it would help us.
That's the biggest frustration, is that
I feel like IDUBBBZ is just lashing out and crashing out about being shat on for doing OnlyFans. Just damaged them more.
people don't really, it's like, I'm the one who made all of these videos in the first place.
Yeah.
Like, I understand
The game.
The game.
Yeah.
Like, of course, like the suggestion of like
You're
making the
giving up the
OnlyFans
game.
thing a joke.
Yeah.
Like, that was like, that's so obvious
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah.
But the people who suggested that shit to me
Mhm.
are f***ing losers. If you're watching this, you're a f***ing loser.
Oh no, this guy thinks I'm a loser.
I'm gay.
Crazy how this guy became that guy.
Who would have thought that this would have been the peak of Ian's career? The biggest cope in Ian's video was him saying tons of people agree with him. They just didn't leave a comment or make a video because they're too busy.
I think all of the people who are like,
You know, I could literally say the same thing. You know, Ethan Clark could literally pull up that same argument. But
know who is like literally winning the argument and who is like presenting a better case. I think a lot of those people are just silent, you know? At most they're clicking like on a video, but they're not gonna fucking put in like the labor to like make sure their guy wins or their girl wins, you know? They're just gonna fucking kind of move on because they got a life.
He's trying
that's the most insane cope.
so hard to convince himself he's in the right.
Know that other commentary channels, regular people, when they're trying to get a temperature check about how people feel about this, they're gonna like, you know, if the like dislike isn't giving them much of a vibe, they are gonna go to the comments and they are going to you know, use that as a template for how
By the way, the people who are siding with IDUBBBZ and Anissa and Hassan on this whole, you know, Ethan Klein CPS thing don't know the context of the situation. That's why they're siding with IDUBBBZ and shit. The people who really side with IDUBBBZ in this just don't have the full picture, don't have the full story of the whole entire shit show. Which is why IDUBBBZ is able to have people believe that Ethan Klein is this really bad quote really bad person.
How they should feel about it. Not in all cases, but you know, they want to have an understanding. They want to be tapped in, because I think a lot of people, that is like it's important. You know, I want to know what people are thinking about a video. But I think there's a big force of really loud people in the comments, and they scare people away. And especially if it's brigaded fast and quickly, like within the first 24 hours of it being uploaded.
Or maybe it's because your video sucks, but let's let them cook.
There's been
Insane.
a lot of people to put out commentary videos about Ethan, and they go bye-bye.
Like who?
Like they're like, "F this, I do not want the smoke, I do not want the heat." And even if it's like not
I did that, but instead it was the other way around. I made a video talking about CPS getting called to a false CPS getting called to Ethan Klein's house, and then people were shitting on me for it, and then I decided to, you know, fuck off. But then I'm gonna come back into it because fuck it. I feel like I'm in the right, and I feel like these people just destroyed themselves to the point where me releasing my video really won't hold any ground, or, you know, fuck around.
genuine at all. It's like there are people out there in different communities that are like, I'm gonna get on this shit, and I'm going to make them feel like the internet's against them, and this is the fucking end of their career.
Bro, just name somebody.
Which videos are? I mean, do any come to mind specifically?
I mean,
He has nobody. He's gonna say a commentary channel with 5 subscribers, Helmet Chuck videos. He's gonna say that.
I think the left, or the snark, the H3 snark has like kept track of them. There was like one small.
Wow, the snark. Wow, what an awesome. Wow, really. What a good source of people you got there, IDUBBBZ.
Commentary channel. I think they may have focused on like fucking like Ethan's topics, or Ethan talking about Markiplier maybe.
Bro, just name somebody, dude. It's not that hard.
I'm not sure what it was specifically, but that one got nuked. There was a woman who made one. Oompaville was another one.
We got
Oompaville? Didn't Oompaville back out? Didn't he like delete the video because he wasn't really informed on the whole, you know, IDUBBBZ shit? He decided to, you know, just immediately blindly take IDUBBBZ's side and not listen to Ethan Klein's side. Yeah, he got a lot of shit for that, and then he deleted it. Yeah, wow. Very good example, IDUBBBZ.
one name, and it's Oompaville. Now, I like Oompaville, but he prefaced his video by saying, I don't know anything about the drama. I'm not going to...
I like Oompaville too. He's an awesome guy. His videos are entertaining, but he fucked up with this one.
Look into it any farther, and he just sided with Ian on most things. He just says, I don't know the whole time.
I don't know. I really don't know the point of this video. I don't know what's going on. But it's very epic, though.
Okay.
A lot of calling out of
the fuck?
Hypocrisy, but everyone's always hypocritical. If you're speaking and you're critiquing things and you're judging people, you're always going to be hypocritical, no matter what. Like, it's not possible to not do that.
I don't know what that means.
Bro's yapping.
Apparently, Denims, I don't know if this is true. I'm not going to fact check it, but this seems like...
Incredible. 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 Hey guys, I'm gonna watch the IDUBBBZ video, and I'm gonna pretty much take all of it as fact, whatever IDUBBBZ says, and then any criticism though, I'm pretty much just not gonna fact check it. It's pretty cool, man. I love it.
When people pointed out how lazy his video was, he co-posted by saying he touches too much grass. Dude, you're...
Insane. Then why'd you even get into this drama if you're not even willing to look over the facts or anything?
Only had to watch like 20 minutes of the H3 podcast to get his side of things. Is that too much work for you?
Find his post interesting. Remove today's video. Why? Because I felt like it. I'm going to start doing that more. I'm married. I can do whatever I want. Okay. Also, a lot of people expected a lot of research and taking it very seriously, and I can't do that while maintaining a positive mental state and touching grass and remaining employed, so I'm sorry.
He made a video that sucked and was called out for missing basic things like CPS getting called, but that's the only way you could think this content cop was good, is if you're missing context. Ian's newest video is on how he doesn't like concern trolling.
Ultimately, concern trolling is just saying something in bad faith. It's very similar to tone policing or sea lioning.
Which is so...
Yeah, ironic considering that you have been concern trolling Ethan Klein throughout this whole venture of, like, from the content cop to this shitty video. The content cop overall was a concern troll. You concern trolled Ethan Klein being like, oh, I'm only making this to help Ethan Klein, like he needs to get help. Like, no, you're not, dude. If you were, you would have been you would have empathized with him having CPS being called with to his fucking false sleep being called to his fucking house.
Ironic because all he did his entire video was concern troll Ethan and crazy makeup. Now Ethan famously has Tourette's, so what's the most empathetic couple on YouTube tweet out now?
No! Oh my god! Anissa literally tweeted out that Ethan Klein was on drugs, or at least was like, is Ethan Klein on drugs? Or drugs? Is he on drugs? Wow, what good speculation. That's how you know IDUBBBZ isn't really Ethan's friend, because if you know your friend has Tourette's, you would not be posting that dumb shit.
Now that he's become their enemy? Drugs? Okay, it's time for loved ones to step up for real. Parents, partners, someone. I'm saying this so genuinely. It's okay to ask for help. Please get help.
Yeah, I need help from fucking ever discovering IDUBBBZ. I want to undiscover IDUBBBZ.
Criticized Oompaville earlier in my video for chiming in without looking into anything. But that's the entire strategy IDUBBBZ, Hassan, and Denims entirely operate with. You lie, and then you lie to get out of the lie while continuing to lie. And then you convince everyone who doesn't know what's going on that your critics are pro-genocide and are just crazy. The streamer watched an out-of-context TikTok thinking Denims getting called a waiting room was because she wasn't pregnant.
But just some of the stuff that he says about women, too. I genuinely don't know how anybody even wants to work for him at this point. It's, like, actually insane. He's like...
Wait, what?
Dude,
Lol, what kind of take is this? Fuck my own fans for trying to give me free stuff. You can hate me, but why shit on our employees? Lame as fuck.
I genuinely don't know how anybody even wants to work for him at this point. It's, like, actually insane. He's like...
She for real? She's a waiting room because she doesn't have kids? What the actual fuck is going on TikTok? You're accepting Twitch primes from Jeff Bezos. You can spare me the mismoralizing.
What did he say? I saw some clip of him saying something about a woman, waiting room. He called her a waiting room because she hasn't had kids yet. Huh?
Denims gets called a waiting room because people wait in her stream until Hassan starts. It has nothing to do with her.
I was about to say, why is she called a waiting room? I'm glad I got that clarification.
A woman, but Ethan's sexist.
Man, that's a big dog.
Because people wait in her stream until Hassan starts. It has nothing
Damn, that's a big boy.
To do with her being a woman. But Ethan's sexist now to everyone who watched these TikToks. Even Meat Canyon, who's just trying to be down the middle, is helping Assad because this is not a down the middle drama.
I don't think that either side's really that fucking, you know.
Meat Canyon's a fucking... Well, I don't even know why Meat Canyon decided to insert himself into this. Like, I feel like that was just so unnecessary.
That's fucking great, if I'm being honest. I feel like there's a lot of oopsie daisies, right? You know what I mean? I don't know. The problem is, he has no... He cannot. He can never say that he's wrong about anything. That is the biggest. That's the biggest problem with all of these people. Nobody.
That's literally has. Yeah, I was about to say, but did you even look into this?
Nobody can just be like, yeah, I don't know. It is fucked up. This is fucked up. I shouldn't be overreacting to this.
I agree that this is a problem online, but it doesn't apply to Ethan in this drama. He's the only one that has corrected information when he's wrong.
Let me respond. I agree with you. I think that my characterization of it as a utopia, like in that moment, was distasteful, and I wish that I had said that differently. And I see that it came off bad. It came off bad, and I was wrong on that one. I totally agree. Watching that clip back, I'm regretful about how I spoke about it. And I think I did say that, and I think that was wrong. I was incorrect on
you
that.
said that numerous times. You actually said you ChatGPT'd against AB when AB was like, I don't think that's correct.
Yeah, by the way, I that's something I looked into, and I was actually wrong about that, for sure.
But Hassan and these other people will lie and then continue to double down on it. Some of these lies go back over 3 years. I've documented this forever, but one that I think is
Oh my god, like a million hour videos on Hassan.
particularly relevant is that Ethan is this ultra-Zionist genocide defender. Sometimes it's because he doesn't cite an exact figure.
You compare the raw numbers, Gazans have lost a lot more than Israelis. 40,000 people have died, and neighborhoods have been completely flattened during this war.
The figure he cites is wrong. It's just wrong. Credible estimates have placed the full scale of the slaughter in Gaza at over 65,000 deaths due to traumatic injury alone.
But when Ethan's video came out, this was a common estimate given by outlets. Another time, Hassan disagreed with one of the two organizations that Ethan donated money to.
His organization that Ethan donated to and urged his fans to donate to is not a fucking charity. They gave money directly to the Atlantic Council under the false notion that they were giving money to a Palestinian charity.
But if you watch the original broadcast, this guy is completely transparent.
I work at the Atlantic Council, where I am a resident senior fellow, but also I run Realign for Palestine through the Atlantic Council, and I have a we have like our own standalone website, realignforpalestine.org, there is a donate button. And yeah, so like you're certainly folks can donate there, but also I would encourage folks to consider the World Food Program has a Gaza Appeals page that is dedicated just for here, I'm going to give you the page that is dedicated for sending food just for Gaza.
Hassan even advocates for the same charity they promoted.
Yeah, the World Food Program is one of the actual humanitarian foundations that they.
All right.
So Hassan mischaracterizes this entire situation and then crashes out, partially because Gila describes people living in Gaza as Gazans.
It's really crazy how Hassan just doesn't want us to help Gazans.
Oh my God. Oh, they're so gross, dude. They're such disgusting genocidal propagandists. Oh.
And that's literally what Hassan has to do in order for people to just side with him. Just say random shit and a bunch of name callings, and that'll get people on his side, bro.
Oh my God. Oh, it's crazy how Hassan doesn't want us to help the Palestinians. Wait, did she even say Palestinians? Hold on, maybe she did.
She said Gaza.
Crazy how Hassan just doesn't want us to help Gazans.
Oh, she didn't even say Palestinians. She said Gazans. Yeah. Here, another great way to figure out Ahmed Al-Khatib being a bad faith actor is that he calls himself a Gazan American. He doesn't even call himself a Palestinian American.
Why is he making it a big deal? The coverage he watches does it every day.
The Gazans.
Thousands of starved Gazans.
The future of Gazans.
Gazan children.
They're pressuring the Gazans.
Displaced Gazans.
Hassan has tweeted it several times. Hassan
himself not even listening.
Has described Palestinians living in Gaza as Gazans.
There are definitely a lot of Israelis that do want the Israeli civilians to die, and certainly the Gazan civilians to die as well. The Gazans did not have access to. Oh, she didn't even say Palestinians. She said Gazans. Oh, they're so gross, dude.
But the biggest sin Ethan committed was not liking a slogan.
You were talking about from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. And
okay, so like at worst, the worst interpretation of that would be like someone like Hamas or Hezbollah or like terrorist organizations who are like, yeah, we want to actually kill everybody there. That's the worst interpretation of it. I know that there's a lot of people, obviously, vast majority of people who do say that don't want to kill all the Jews there, right?
They're such disgusting genocidal propagandists. Oh my God.
Does he really deserve that label? I'm sure there's plenty of things to criticize Ethan for, but these people are labeling him as something that he's not. He agrees with them on all the biggest points.
And the government of Israel is a colossal failure. Netanyahu's a war criminal, a fucking psycho. Into the genocide happening by settler fucking lunatics, and they're hellbent on genocide, frankly, overtly. They've committed tons of war crimes in Gaza, including the killing of children, obviously, because Gaza is one of the most densely populated places in the world. I'm pulled myself all the way to, outright saying that it's apartheid, that it's genocide, that the Israeli government is committing. What's happening in Gaza is a terrible humanitarian crisis that we should all care about. If you're pro-genocide, then we're definitely going to have a disagreement.
Bro, all of these comments on every video call him a genocide.
Then we're definitely going to have a disagreement.
Bro, all of these comments on every video.
Who's Harry Bugs?
Call him a genocide supporter because he doesn't like every...
Debating Ethan is doing people spreading hate online. This is literally... What? Liked by Arthur. Personally, I have my own reasons. I don't watch them, but what, to each other their own.
Single thing these guys say and do.
I don't know what's going on. But ever since October 7th, it's like I'm nothing more or less than a Zionist genocide supporter. Nothing.
Genocidal propagandists. Oh my God.
At what point are they just slandering him? And the most cowardly part is they hide behind the dead bodies of Palestinians to avoid any...
That is pathetic, dude. It's already bad enough that you're like already harassing Ethan Klein like this, but it's worse that you're literally doing this by saying that you're doing this for Palestine. And that's disgusting.
Accountability on this.
Also wild because the political content creator in question is an anti-genocide content creator, and the arguments they're attacking him for are anti-genocide arguments. So these creators, they're positioning themselves in opposition to him and his arguments, de facto positioning themselves on the pro-genocide side. anti-genocide is pro-genocide. It's quite the precarious predicament they've placed themselves in.
He's twisting himself into a pretzel trying to explain it. You can't criticize
His brain's a pretzel. What the fuck?
Hassan, otherwise you're pro.
Dude, I feel like there is more or other big figures out there who are more important than Hassan when it comes to the Israel-Palestine. Israel or Palestine don't need fucking Hassan to fucking spread awareness. I feel like they'll be much better without Hassan, actually.
Genocide. It's so stupid. I watched Noah Samson's most recent video about Ethan Klein and Mudahar suing him for defamation, and I was blown away when I heard his explanation for why Mudahar is pro-genocide. It's because he criticized Hassan for his Houthi interview, one of the worst interviews in all of YouTube.
Oh, is that terrorist guy with the when he asked him about the anime?
I have an entire video on it. Go watch it.
Does he know what One Piece is?
One Piece, like, is that an organization?
No, One Piece is an anime.
Luffy.
Luffy?
Yeah, he said he's been watching it since he was a kid.
No way!
Yeah.
That's sick. Yes.
I think he hasn't spent much time with Chinese people, but one of the
Oh, is that the infamous? Is there a KFC in Yemen?
the captain was Chinese, and he did qat with them, and he danced to music with them, and he was vibing. So he likes them. Yeah.
So I mean, what? That's so crazy. So
by the way, if you criticize this, you're a pro-genocide. You are a baby killer, according to Noah Samson.
Just fucking chilling with the captains. Like, I don't understand.
To be clear, we're talking about a man they took hostage.
America's like America's like blowing them up while they're just like doing cat and fucking chilling with the captains. Like, how does he feel about that? Isn't that crazy? Like, I don't know how to describe it.
They essentially claim, we couldn't have possibly supported a genocide because elsewhere we have said that we don't. We said that genocide is bad, so we are exempt from any criticism for any other things we may have said that do.
Yeah, bad genocide is bad. And if they have, yeah, you literally said that they are pro-genocide when they literally said that they're against genocide, and your proof of them being pro-genocide was just them shitting on Hassan for his stupid interview with the fucking anime guy,
actually,
or the terrorist guy. I don't know. Who do I call him? The terrorist guy or the anime guy? The terrorist guy.
For this point, one of the quotes that they cite is Mutahar saying, "I'm not afraid to say that genocide is wrong." Wow, how brave of you, Mutahar.
He feels like he has to say that because you keep saying otherwise.
Aside from that being just false, Mutahar stayed silent on Gaza throughout the entirety of the genocide until it was time to join his friends on a Hassan bad smear campaign. If that's not fear, I don't know what you'd call it other than, I guess, cowardice.
That's it? Muda
What?
did make a video on the conflict, pro-genocide. Muda criticized Hassan, pro-genocide. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought Muda was a Canadian YouTuber. Didn't realize he was the Prime Minister of Israel. This is a propaganda machine at work. Lie about people who criticize you. When you get called out, crazy make them. Support people who dox or falsely called CPS on.
Which, by the way, this guy sucks.
Then when they respond to that, concern troll. Hide behind the dead bodies of children. Act above it all, even though they instigated it. That way everyone who's not paying attention will think you're the rational one. It's really dangerous to conflate anti-Zionism with anti-Semitism, but it's completely acceptable to conflate criticizing Hassan with being pro-genocide.
Yeah, those two do not correlate. If you criticize Hassan, you're not a pro-genocide. You don't support the killing of Palestinians if you're against Hassan. Like, if anything, that you're probably I don't know. Fucking Christ. What was I gonna say? If you're against Hassan, that doesn't make you a pro-genocide person if you support, or it doesn't even make you pro-Israel if you hate Hassan. You just don't like Hassan. Hassan is not worthy of, is not fucking Israel or Palestine's #1 supporter.
They get blamed for killing an entire school bus worth of children for uploading this YouTube video.
What you're doing with your platform is entirely negative against pro-Palestinian voices. Yeah, of course people are going to think you're fucking anti-Palestine. And I personally think that too. I do think that. The fact that while Israel is doing a genocide, a lot of these people have shifted their priority directly to drama slop and to...
That is literally you, bro. You're projecting.
Attack people who call out Israel's genocide.
You're projecting, bro.
Never fucking forget these monstrous pieces of shit for looking at a situation like the one happening, the one unfolding in Gaza, and choosing to never say anything about it, only to then make these fucking drama videos to call out the people who call out the Israeli.
Nobody gives a fuck about your stance on Israel-Palestine, bro. You literally make this whole entire movement bad. There are reasons people support the fucking shit show that you're on. Oh my fucking god, dude. I can't even fucking speak, bro. Hassan, you fucking make my brain fucking kill itself.
Government. If that's what you choose to do after 12 months, 13 months, 14 months of genocide, then you are less than nothing to me. Tens of thousands of children fucking destroyed.
While reacting to Muda criticizing his interview.
Okay? I read accounts from a parent that felt fire for the first time. Woke up.
Okay. He never felt fire?
Okay. Immediately grabbed her son. Started running out of the house. And in the process, didn't realize that her son felt a little bit lighter. He turned back around and saw that it wasn't her son that she was holding. It was simply her son's arm. Okay? That is the daily reality for Palestinians.
He's using a dead...
Yeah, and he's using these people for just to fucking boost himself up on YouTube drama.
Kid to shield valid criticism. It's so gross.
He just uses being pro-Palestine as a way to try to dance on this fucking tightrope where he gets to say whatever the fuck he wants.
That's you. These people want diplomatic immunity. Can't criticize Hassan because he is critical of Israel. Can't criticize Ian because he runs a for-profit charity.
Ian is the only person who gets a pass for torpedoing his own admission, torpedoing a charity event.
Didn't you fucking send a death threat to fucking Destiny or some shit? Or, I'm sorry, I don't know. Didn't you say something, or actually I do know. Didn't you say something about Destiny being like, oh, the world would be a better place if Destiny was like dead or some shit? And by the way, IDUBBBZ shit isn't a fucking charity event. It's a fucking, he's hiding behind charity, bro.
Why are we giving Ethan a pass for
what pass are we giving Ethan? I feel like Ethan's a dead horse being destroyed by people like you and Hassan.
He wants the charity event
and IDUBBBZ.
Effectively getting the charity event to fail and to postpone. And for
the charity event would have already failed regardless of Ethan's video or not, or IDUBBBZ making the content cop or not. I'd argue that people now know about Creator Clash 3 because of this whole ordeal.
Original creators to divest from.
Nothing is ever these people's fault. Hassan can't get stopped at an airport without blaming his critics.
These fucking dumbass slop tubers are actually playing with fucking fire. And I even thought about not even mentioning this because
no way. Wait, that's actually real?
I was like, I don't want to give him any sort of like power over the situation, but like
you already are.
The reality of the matter is 100% the Trump administration is inadvertently working with a lot of these fucking dipshits.
What? Where the fuck did you get this? Or do you have any logic behind this? You think slop tubers in the Trump administration are working to... What are you saying?
These dipshits are playing a formative role in getting people in trouble with the law.
This guy lies so much in this.
This was literally your orbiters trying to fucking get Ethan Klein's kids taken away, by the way.
Video.
This theory is so unhinged, though. I don't know what the fuck are you saying, bro.
These people are such spurgs. Ryan Beard announces that he's criticizing Ethan in the upcoming video, and Hassan tries to gatekeep it. If you're a YouTube content creator who hasn't said Ethan,
I also have it.
The upcoming video. Comical. These people are such spurgs. Ryan Beard announces that he's criticizing Ethan in the upcoming video. And comical.
Shit, I have to fucking read this tweet to like.
He's criticized.
I also have a ton of criticisms of Ethan just because I think some of the harassment he has received is ridiculous. That does not mean I agree with all of his actions towards other creators or his takes on Israel and Palestine. I will be diving deeper into my criticisms of him in a video I'm working on. That was May 29th. We're in June 6th. Alright. I'll be waiting. I don't know if I'll watch it though. I probably will.
Ethan in the upcoming video, and Hassan tries.
If you're a YouTube content creator who hasn't said dick about Israel Palestine, you're only now starting to let your critical position on Israel to be known for 19 months of genocide, since it's no longer going to cause you service career penalties, and you spent any moment finger wagging at people who have been correct you have not been correct this entire time, Hassan, or at least you have not been empathetic throughout this whole shit. You're only using Israel Palestine for fucking drama, and that is disgusting. I will absolutely come after you if you come out with a critical position without trying to both side it. Then great, welcome to the fold. You know what, I probably should react to an Israel Palestine video. Fuck it. Let's talk about Israel Palestine, boys and girls.
It's the gatekeeper. If you're a YouTube
I'll probably find I'll try and look for a good video, and then we'll watch together.
content creator who hasn't said dick about Israel Palestine,
Oh, well, he reads it. Fuck.
and you're only now starting to let your critical positions on Israel be known after 19 months of genocide, since it's no longer going to cause you severe career penalties, and you've spent a moment finger wagging at people who have been correct the entire time, I will absolutely come after you. So you just argue with people that agree with you, argues with Ethan, argues with Ryan. I will absolutely come after you.
I will absolutely come after you. Wow. Incredible stuff.
You aren't gonna do shit. Oh no, Hassan's gonna react to Bad Empanada watching somebody else's video and then get up and leave halfway through. I have a lot
Yeah, it's at that point, just watch Bad Empanada.
more to say
Don't do that, by the way. He's a scum.
about Hassan, but that'll be part of a much bigger video. So subscribe to the channel and buy your dad a wallet. Shout out to the homies over on Patreon. Crimson.
Alright, well, that's a good video from Willy Mac. I have learned a lot of shit, and those I wish I've never learned. And yeah, shout out to Willy Mac for this video. It's IDUBBBZ Career is Over, featuring Hassan and Noah Samson. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, let's next segment.